So welcome guys, this is the Market Square Coffee House Artist Spotlight Series. I'm here with Michael Daughtry.
Hi.
And we're so fortunate to have him here today. I want to get right into this interview. How did you get started?
How did I get started? Well, basically started as a young kid, probably around, I think it was in first grade. I liked playing the piano, and my grandma noticed me playing the piano. She convinced my parents to have me take piano lessons, and kind of got started with that. Picked up the guitar when I was around 15 and kind of piddled around. Couldn't play all that good, but really liked electric chords. You know, I had a little Boss amp, tiny little practice amp that I made fuzzy guitar sounds and just listened to those for hours. And I was always had the music sort of in me, and went to Berklee College of Music in the 90s, which was a while back, and graduated there. And I actually majored in songwriting, so you won't meet many people that do that. There aren't many schools that have that kind of program, but had a really intense, great time up in Boston, and stayed up there for a few years after, and opened and played with some big names, some names I probably can't say because for fear of copyright and all that rigmarole, you know, but had some really good times. Played at the Charles Playhouse. Anybody can Google that, and they'll know who I played with. So anyway, but yeah, just that's how I got my start, was just sort of like on the piano, just an instrument, any instrument that was around. I always liked playing. Used to play a tambourine when I was in elementary school. I wanted a drum set really bad. My parents got me a tambourine, and I got a pair of chopsticks.
Nice. Now, fast forward to now, and you're a music teacher now. Is that
yes? By
day, you're a music teacher. By night,
by day and night during the week, because I teach general music for elementary ages during the day, a couple of days a week, and then I teach private lessons in the late afternoons, evenings. And when I'm able to, I do the whole, gigging on the weekends. I don't do it as much as I used to did, because I'm just a little more with my day job and the music stuff. But I'm keeping music, with what I do, which is just it's like a dream come true. It's great.
Very cool. Now for people like me who cannot write a song to save our life, what do you have anything over the years that you've learned that you can say, okay, say I'm stuck on a chorus and I need more lyrics, or maybe the guitar part's not working. What can you take me through? How do you write a song, basically? And if so, can you give me something that you've learned over time that I couldn't read in a How to Write a Song book?
Okay, well, I think songs they're like pieces of a puzzle, and it's putting them together. Sometimes sometimes, you know how when you're a kid and you can put the pieces and sort of mash them, and then they kind of work? Well, sometimes songs are like that. Sometimes there are songs, and those can be really good songs where you kind of mash the parts together, and maybe they're not as smooth. But to me, the best songs are the ones that just sort of come to you, and maybe, songs can be written in 10 minutes or 10 years, I think.
Well, let me ask you this: if I'm writing a song and it's not going smooth, is that a good time? Is that a good time to say, maybe this ain't working, let's revamp? Or if I'm forcing it, is it going to come across as crass?
Yes, I think forcing, especially lyric writing, that's the worst. So, for me personally, when I try and force lyrics, because I tried to do that last night. I'm still guilty of that. If lyric writing to me is what takes the most time. Some people, the lyrics come first, and then the songs are harder for them to come with the chords and things like that. For me, it's kind of the opposite. But when you're writing a song, if you're like me and have a lot of songs sort of in the works, you do just want to put that down, and then maybe overnight, or there's all kinds of little tricks. Pat Pattison, who was my lyric writing professor, I love this quote where he says, "There are no rules. There are just tools." Okay, so if you don't want to go by rules, there are certain things that can make things sound better, but when you're writing a song, sometimes it's good to have a recording device by your bed. Sometimes things do come late at night and you can sing into them. It's always good to have a recording device. Sometimes something can hit you in the car when you're driving. There's all kinds of little, sometimes listening to the radio for like 2 seconds and cutting it off and just getting a little hit of something.
From that.
Yeah.
What about, so if I break the norm, what if I don't do intro, chorus? I mean, say intro, verse, chorus, and then I'll go chorus, bridge. Does it matter? Can I break those rules, or is it going to come across as being lame?
Well, it depends. I mean, it's sort of, if the inspiration hits you that way, if you go into it, to me, this is just my opinion, but when you go into it trying to break the rules, that comes across as just you're trying to break the rules. It doesn't come across. Songwriting to me is just, it's something that just kind of happens, but then it takes a whole lot of work to get the song to just kind of come together and form.
And are you one of these guys that you would take a good performance that I might have a flub in versus a 100% perfect everything on a grid? Are you one of these guys who are like, the performance comes first? If I do hit a flub and I'm playing live, if the performance is there, I love it, or you're like, do you hate it?
Well, when it's about the moment. If there's a flub in a performance, because myself, I'm a songwriter, so the songwriting is what, if you have, because I'll be honest, I have plenty of bad nights. I don't think I'm the best singer in the world. I've really had to sort of work at that kind of performance side of it. But, if you feel good about the song and the structure and everything and the message behind the song, if you don't have a really good night doing it, it won't matter as much because that song is there. That's forever. So if you play it for people, you'll think, well, this didn't go well at all. But people heard the lyrics, they heard the changes and the chords and all the other music stuff, and that's what grabs people.
If the song has to be there first.
Yeah.
Nothing matters after. If the song is there,
all that other, someone else can do your song. I mean, that's the thing.
Okay. Speaking of songs, all right. Say I want to buy a record, one that you think is a definitive. You got to have this in your collection. What record is it? It can only be one. I know you're going to give me more, but it can only be one, and why?
I think I can give you one. One that I've always thought was really, really just at the moment captured something really great, was the Beatles' Revolver.
Oh, nice.
I really enjoy that album. That still to this day, I can just listen to it from beginning to end. A lot of Beatles fans tend to like more pop people who like pop music, like Sgt. Pepper's. That was a lot of people's, and it was a great, great, great album. But to me, Revolver, I like albums that kind of have it seems like it's almost like a transition.
Yeah, 1 through 10. Play it, don't stop.
There's nothing.
It's one of those.
Right.
Yeah.
There's nothing that really. I mean, there were some songs on there that you hear them and you're like, there's nothing that's been done before or since. It's just quite like that. So I tend to like albums, and which it's funny because I'm getting more in my position in life. I'm putting out more like EPs now, personally.
Sure.
I do like this. And it's not an original concept, but what I like to call song blocks, where it's like blocks of 4 or 5 songs that just have a theme. They may not have a theme that's like instantly you can catch on to, but there's something about and I'm very obsessed with like song order. I really like when one song plays and then like I'll do that. Sometimes I've written songs just based on the end of a song that I'm like, what would I want to hear after I've just heard the end of that song? What would the beginning of the next song sound like?
I think a lot of people forget that artists choose the album's order in a certain way, and when you go to iTunes or whatever and you split it up, you really don't get the full experience.
It's not the same.
It's not the same. So I will agree on that one.
Yeah.
I do like to hear it as a whole,
because it's like
it's a piece of art in itself.
Right.
It's a whole side A, side B, flip it over.
the order of anything. The order of things is very important in music.
Speaking of, you said EP, I had a young guy come in to record, and he proceeded to tell me the album is dead. And you know what? I can't buy that. I can't buy it.
that either.
As far as, it's easy to do an EP. It's easier as far as time.
Right.
And there's some great EPs out there, and I like the fact that you do yours that way. That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, you would want to do a full album.
Oh yeah.
Like I know there's time, so I just the art of
mine's
albums,
mine is for it's almost like, and it's as an artist it's sometimes it is whatever's convenient, because I don't have a lot of time. I mean, I just don't have like months and months to work on an album, so I tend to release, like I released an EP last year, and this year I'm planning on releasing 2 or 3, so that's kind of where I am.
Where can we find more about Mike Daughtry?
Well, I have a couple of course, Reverb Nation, reverbnation.com/Michael Daughtry. You can hear the tunes in a sort of more band form and some acoustic stuff. I have sort of 2 sides. I have sort of a more electric side and band side. Also have, of course, Facebook and Twitter. You can get on my name, Michael Daughtry, last name Daughtry, and you can get any of those links. I have one song on Bandcamp right now, Hypnotized. That's for sale, and I'm working on getting some more actually in the next couple of weeks. But Bandcamp right now is my main source.
Very cool. And we'll post up all these links at the end, folks, so you guys can see it as well. Gonna probably end here. Gonna ask you a question. Why do this? Why do it? And I mean, why
That's
do you do
a
this?
great question. Why do this? Because it can be just so, like, I mean, I'm kind of like, I'd rather be home right now. I tend to be more like, I'm very typical songwriter. I'm kind of an introvert, but at the same time, can be comfortable performing in front of a lot of people. I almost feel like I have to.
Sure.
Because there's like these things that come forth, and whatever, if you're spiritual or whatever, I feel like they're not from me. They're from somewhere else or something else. And I just feel like it's sort of what I have to do.
So how about this? In a dream world where Michael Daughtry has his way, would you like to be the guy in the control room having other people play your songs and you pretty much playing producer role?
I would really. I want both.
You want both? Okay.
I want some of both.
You guys heard it. You heard it from him. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, Will. Thank you.
Michael Daughtry.
Appreciate it.
And stay tuned for a performance from Michael Daughtry.